Across the street from the newly added purveyor at the Berkeley Springs station, we can head down a dirt road onto an impressive estate. This is the Sunday Brothers cabin. On approach, we gain a miscellaneous quest, Search Cabin for Survivors. Heading in the front door, we end up in a very cozy interior. The miscellaneous quest points us to a holotape on the counter, but first, let's clear the building of any pests. Now that the mole rats are taken care of, let's listen to this holotape labeled... Wait, this is holotape number 3. After looking around the cabin for the first 2 tapes, we come up empty, so where are they? Well, heading over to Harper's Ferry, which is located just east of here, we can climb this building's roof. On the other side, we find a little hideaway on a platform. Next to a cushioned chair, we can find the first of the Jesus Sundays holotapes, where we can learn why these tapes are in Harper's Ferry.
When my brother JD and I answered the call, heading to Harper's Ferry, we expected to find an organized Free State stronghold. Now that we're here, it's obvious that no one knows what the hell they're doing. The other Free States families are wasting precious resources, trying to restore Harper's Ferry and create a safe haven for survivors. Instead, they should be turning the town into a fort and stockpiling supplies to prep for the long haul. And we'll still pitch in. We don't plan on sticking around long to see what happens. We don't think that Harper's Ferry will ever be safe. So we're gonna use our share of the supplies to reinforce the bunker at our camp.
So it sounds like Jesus and his brother JD had differing opinions than the Free States on how to handle the post-apocalypse. I have a whole dedicated video on the Free States that shows what happened in Harper's Ferry. This will be even more relevant later in the video. A link will be in the description below and the cards above. At the end of the tape, he mentioned supplies at the cabin. We will have to check for them when we go back. But first, we need to find the second holotape. Just below the first tape, over by the Harper Ferry South Gate, we can find Jesus Sunday holotape number 2.
For the past few years, my brother's been bummed out. Like really sad, you know? Personally, I don't think he's ever recovered from watching the world end. Hell, I don't think any of us have. I tried to talk to him about it. They kept pushing me away and changing the subject. But after JD met Brianna Hawk in Harper's Ferry, things turned around. I guess she helped him out by giving him a different shoulder to cry on. Why JD's more comfortable with her than his own brother? Yeah. I'm kind of angry. Maybe even a little jealous. I'm gonna let it go for his sake. Still, there's something about Brianna that bugs me. So I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
So it sounds like Jesus' brother, JD, is having trouble accepting the world around him, and is still, in a way, living in the past. Jesus, on the other hand, seems to be ready and willing to do anything to survive in the new world, even if that means deceiving other people like the Free States. With this perspective, it's not hard to understand why JD would seek out someone with the same outlook to console him. This theme will continue as we hear from the remains of the other holotapes. One party willing to support outsiders and the weak, and one party that's reclusive and selfish. Heading back to the cabin, before we listen to the third holotape, let's go down into the Sunday's bunker and see if we can scavenge some of their supplies. Passing through a level 1 locked door to their supply room, inside we encounter rad roaches. After killing the roaches, we can find a substantial supply of canned food and supplies. This is one of the best places to come to find food that won't spoil. Clearly, the Sundays were prepared for an event like nuclear war. Alright, heading back up to the cabin, we can play Jesus Sunday's holotape number 3.
We were at our bunker when the scorched beasts attacked Harper's Ferry. It took them less than an hour to burn the place down. When the attack was over, I thought Brianna was dead, and that JD would return to his old self. When he didn't, I became suspicious. Then, Brianna shows up at our cabin with a small group of survivors, and everything became clear. She had conned JD, played him this entire time, pretending to love him, to give herself and her friends an invite to our bunker. Well, there was no way I was gonna let that happen. I told her she could march right back to her cave and find her own place to survive. When JD tried to stop me, I had to knock him out. That's when Brianna's people pushed back, and I fired some shots in the air to scare them away. Now I have to deal with JD. Damn, is he gonna be pissed.
So a lot happened in this tape. First, let's talk about how Harper's Ferry was overrun by scorched beasts. Like I said earlier, my video on the Free States goes in depth on this. But after the fall of Harper's Ferry, some of the survivors formed a group around Brianna Hawk. And with Brianna's connection to JD, the group went to the Sunday's cabin to ask for supplies. But they were repelled with gunfire. We will have to see how JD reacts to all of this hostility from his brother. Now finally, we can move outside of the cabin, and just out the back door, we find a brewing paradise. A decent supply of moot fruit, corn, and razor grain are planted out back, and brewing stations are located in a shed. On a terminal next to our next holotape, we can find out what was going on here. All hail the amazing brewmaster, Juan Diego. Brewmaster's log, the plan. I convinced Jesus that if we're going to really do this backwoods survival gig, we've got to go all the way. And when I say all the way, you know I'm talking about Moonshine. On the downside, everything I read says making shine takes time, but patience doesn't exactly run in the Sunday blood. Time to find a guy who knows a guy. There's got to be a way to speed this up. Brewmaster's log, the distilleries. Best news all day. Our cousin Carmen's got a roommate at Vaultech University who's more than willing to take on our little distillation problem. Said she's an engineering major who can hold more than her fair share of liquor. I admire her already, and even more so if she manages to pull this off. He must be talking about Nuka-Shine. I have a whole dedicated series on the Nuka-Shine DLC. Again, links will be in the description below. Doomsday Brewmaster's log, the mission. They were right. Riley and Sam, they were actually right. The Reds dropped the bomb. The world's gone to shit, and believe me, people need shine more than ever. I had to change up the recipes a bit since Mother Nature's gone a little loopy, but they still work. But damn, the world's gone crazy. Jesus is loading up the shotguns. The stills get the wildlife a little riled up. So if we want to make this, we need to protect it with everything that we've got. Their cabin is located in the mire, and the wildlife here is drastically changed over normal, so I imagine any kind of noise would attract some strange creatures. Doomsday Brewmaster's log, the results. New recipes aren't the worst. Mute berries actually still pretty damn good. It's just the tartar shine that makes you want to spit it out faster than you can drink it down. Hell, it serves a purpose. Only issue now is we're running low on ammo, and this is man versus nature on a whole new level. I'm not sure how many batches we've got left in us, but I'm guessing we can trade it up for some nice supplies at Harper's. I can get Brianna to put it up on the form that old man Hayes threw together. So it sounds like JD was trading some of the moonshine for supplies. You gotta wonder if Jesus was mistaken JD for trading the supplies and not just giving them away. Next to that computer, we can play Jesus Sunday holotape number 5.
It's been weeks since I chased off Brianna Hawk, and I feel like I've wasted all of it trying to convince JD that he was better off without her. I finally thought I was getting through, until I was cleaning up our cabin and found the goddamn notes they've been passing to each other. Instead of heading out to hunt, that hijo de perra's been stabbing me in the back. by giving Brianna some of our supplies. After everything I've sacrificed for our family, how could he do this to me? When he gets back from today's hunt, we're gonna have a little chat about Brianna Hawk. And this time, I'm not just gonna look the other way.
So JD was sneaking supplies to Brianna. Jesus is now completely fed up with his brother, and a confrontation is imminent. Following the miscellaneous quest marker, we can head up behind the greenhouse on an exposed rock. We can find a recently deceased body. On this body, we can find the final holotape, Jesus Sunday holotape number 6.
I don't even know how to say it, but JD's dead. I murdered my own brother. After I found out he'd been stealing our supplies for Brianna Hawk, I couldn't wait. So I rushed out and found him scouting the ridge. I have a hard time remembering the rest. I don't know if he slipped or if I pushed him too hard. But my brother, he fell. He's dead. And it's all my fault. When Brianna found out what happened, she gathered her group and hit the cabin with everything they had. They wanted me dead. I killed them all. But they got in a lucky shot. And I don't think I'm gonna last that much longer. Probably better this way. This whole thing, what I did, it reminds me of a passage I read in the Bible once. Everyone who hates his brother is a murderer. And you know that no murderer has eternal life present in him. I guess I proved that one right.
So in Jesus' anger about the supplies, he ended up pushing his brother to his death. Brianna Hawk's group learned of this and attacked the cabin, mortally wounding Jesus. So in Jesus' drive to prepare for the future, he ended up ignoring the people in the present that needed help, and in the end, his greed ended up costing his brother's life and his own. But the story isn't over here. Just west of the Sunday Brother cabin, we can find a cave called Hawk's Refuge. Inside, we can find more information about Brianna Hawk's group and see this whole situation from their perspective. Heading inside the cave, we find some ghouls. Inside the cave, we can find sign that there was a large amount of people living here. Around all of this stuff, we can also find a few dead settlers. Near the back of the camp, we can find an opening that looks like it was being used as a bedroom. Over on a table, we can find Brianna Hawk's diary, where we can hear the other side of the story. Brianna Hawk's diary. After the destruction of Harper's Ferry, the Free States and the survivors who occupied the town scattered. Two groups of refugees found themselves headed west. Free State brothers, Juan Diego and Jesus Sunday, and me and my kin. The Sundays were rich preppers. They had a small but well-appointed bunker beneath their vacation cabin in the woods they hadn't told anyone about. The Hawks were just ordinary civilians, with nowhere else to go. Once we were friends. I dated Juan Diego before the war. But now, with survival on the line, the brothers turned us away. Our group found a cave set into a nearby hillside. It wasn't much, but we did what we could to patch it up. Add some wood for the floors, scavenge furniture from ruined houses, houses nearby. It wasn't exactly Free States level quality, but it was enough to get by. Over the following months, tensions grew. The Sundays were living relatively well from their supplies and farming a little patch of land near their house, while our desperate band was reduced to foraging in the swamps and eating anything they could scrounge up. We resented the Sundays' snobbish attitude. They looked down at us like wild animals. When negotiations over food failed, we started raiding the Sundays' field. The Sundays responded by building a wall. They set out lethal traps. We lost some good people. Then during one late-night raid, someone knocked over a lantern and the entire field went up in flames. Nearly everyone died in the ensuing fight. The remnants of our band tried to scavenge what we could from the fire. We also tried to break into the Sunday's bunker, to no avail. Out of food and options, I fear we will starve to death. So after reading this note, it does kind of sound like the Hawk group was responsible for the downfall of the Sunday Brother cabin. So who do you think is at fault here? Are you with the Sundays, or are you with the Hawks? Let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, that's all I have on Jesus Sunday. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, consider joining my channel's membership. You get a cool little cryptid symbol next to your name when you comment, and it goes a long way in supporting my channel, so thank you. Also consider following me on Twitter. It's the best place for me to keep in contact with you guys. But anyway, this has been Widgeon TV. Thanks for watching, guys.